where we give you that shortcut to being genuinely well-informed.
Yeah.
Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a UK healthcare job.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds, maybe a bit admin-heavy, clinical coder, but it's actually this highly specialized, really critical financial gatekeeper role.
Absolutely. And our mission today is really to unpack the market dynamics around this and the, frankly, surprising compensation, especially for specialists. Think gastroenterology, for instance.
Okay.
Because the key thing you need to grasp right away is this clinical coding. It's basically the financial engine room of the hospital. It's that important.
How does that work then? What are the stakes involved?
Oh, the stakes are enormous, financially speaking. These coders, they're the ones translating everything that happens to a patient, diagnoses, treatments, procedures, into standardized data.
Okay.
Now, if they miss just one code on a complex case, say a surgery, the trust might get maybe £500 back, when maybe they should have received £5,000. It's that stark. This data uses mandatory systems, ICD-10 for diagnoses, OPCS-4 for procedures, and this data groups patient episodes into what are called healthcare resource groups, HRGs.
And those HRGs are essentially the bill, aren't they? The invoice to the NHS.
Exactly right. Those HRGs directly determine what the hospital gets paid under the National Tariff Payment System. So you see, incorrect coding isn't just like messy paperwork.
No.
It's actual, potentially substantial revenue leakage. It turns the coder into a kind of high-level financial auditor, almost.
Wow. Okay, so if the financial risk is that high, the skills needed must go way beyond just typing things in. What sort of mindset does this work demand?
Oh, absolutely. It definitely requires what some of our sources call a detective element. You need this forensic, very logical mind.
Right.
And relentless attention to detail, especially now with electronic patient records, EPRs becoming standard. Navigating those complex digital systems flawlessly is key.
And I guess this is where specializing really starts to pay off.
It does,
Yeah.
massively, especially in areas with, lots of procedures, high complexity. Gastroenterology is a prime example.
Why GI specifically?
Well, think about it. We're talking complex diagnostics, therapeutic procedures, lots of different GI endoscopies, for example. A newly qualified coder, they might really struggle to capture all the nuances accurately.
Yeah.
And that struggle could mean underbilling the NHS by thousands for just one procedure. But a senior specialist in GI coding, they stop that leakage.
Right.
Their value is directly measurable in the income they secure for the trust.
That makes the career path much clearer. It's not just about time served. It's about mastering a very specific, complex language.
Exactly. The ladder is steep, but it's quite structured. You typically start as a trainee coder, that's band 4, entry salary just under, say, £27,500. But the big milestone, the thing that makes you really valuable talent, is getting the National Clinical Coding Qualification, the NCCQ.
The NCCQ.
Yeah. That gives you accredited clinical coder status, ACC status, and that bumps you straight to band 5, starting around £31,000. Then specialization, like in GI, pushes you to band 6 senior roles.
And that's where the pay really jumps.
It does. Band 6 starts over £38,600, can top out near £47,000. That NCCQ is the key, the real differentiator in the market.
But here's what I found really interesting, maybe the biggest shocker in the sources we looked at. It wasn't just the base pay, it was what trusts are doing outside London to get this talent.
Ah, yes, the recruitment challenges.
Right, we're hearing about recruitment and retention premiums, RRPs, plus they're leveraging remote working, which EPR systems enable.
And that combination, the RRPs and remote work, it makes areas without the high-cost area supplement, the HCAS areas, surprisingly competitive.
So you don't necessarily need to be in London or the Southeast.
Not at all. Though RRPs combined with HCAS in somewhere like the Southeast can push total specialist coder pay past £53,000. But maybe the most telling sign of the shortage is the contract market.
Okay, let's talk about that. I saw figures like £300 a day for contract coding. That sounds almost like, I don't know, a senior IT contractor rate. Is that for real?
It is absolutely a market reality. It's driven purely by scarcity and, frankly, necessity. Trusts need that coding expertise now to secure their revenue.
So they'll pay a premium.
They will. They're paying median daily rates around £300 for skilled, accredited ACCs on contract. It's definitely a seller's market right now.
Because the value is so clear.
Precisely. The highest value is always tied to the expertise that can handle those really complex caseloads accurately and, minimize that financial risk we talked about.
So the career doesn't just stop at being a specialist coder. It moves into more strategic roles.
It certainly can. Once you've really demonstrated mastery in those complex areas, the path often leads to higher level roles. Things like coding auditor, trainer, maybe even coding manager, often band 7 or even higher.
Right, overseeing the whole data integrity pipeline.
Exactly. Strategic oversight becomes the focus.
Okay, so a final thought for you, the listener, to maybe explore further. The future of this really strategic role seems to require skills beyond just ICD-10 and OPCS-4.
Mm-hmm.
Keep an eye on something called Systemized Nomenclature of Medicine Clinical Terms,
Yeah.
SNMDCT. Apparently, it's becoming really integral for more advanced coding and data governance roles going forward.
Yeah, it points to how this role continues to evolve, becoming even more central to how healthcare information is managed and ultimately funded, a crucial strategic asset for the NHS.